Hi there guys, this is Farmer Bob. Welcome back to the channel. Awesome, man. Great to be back with another video, guys, on map making, and the second episode in our series 3. So yes, sit back and relax with me, grab a cup of coffee or whatever you like to drink, your favorite drink, and let's sit back and have a look and continue our map making episode or series, or whatever you want to call it. Great, man. Good, guys. If this is your first time around, welcome. Nice to have you on the channel. Please do remember to subscribe. Just click it now, and then all is well. And you'll stay in touch if you hit that little bell. So yeah, great stuff, man. Good. All right, guys. In our first episode on Series 3, we looked at the map conversion process, how to make a new map and bring in the terrain things, all the terrain detail and stuff that we added in. If you go into the map itself, we added in all the weight files, brought them over, and then also the map dim that gives us our demographics, the heights and everything of the terrain. So yes, here we are, guys, and then I left you guys with some homework to do to actually, in the terrain layer editor or the layer manager, to bring in your own ground textures. Now the problem with that is, which I experienced, and you might have the same problem, so I just want to quickly briefly talk on that. I had to simulate a lot of these because the old textures are different from FS22, so the FS19 textures don't work. If you bring them over, you get a warning message in the editor, in the console, that the textures aren't the same, which obviously is going to cause a problem. So what I've ended up doing is, for instance, let me just go to one example. For instance, where did my thing start? Here by Cliff Rock. What I've done, right, so what I've done is I've had a look at Cliff Rock, for instance, and then the weight files is fine, guys. If you have a problem with your weight files, or there shouldn't be a problem, do as I did, do a map conversion from FS19 to FS22 with their converter first here in the editor. So convert your map and keep it separate. So what I have done is, on my desktop, I've created a separate folder. I exported the map into a folder called Ravenport exported, or converted rather, and then in here you will find under your maps US or whatever your directory is, all these weights will work, so you can directly copy these weights into your map directory. That's what I've done. And then the unfortunate thing is, like everything giants do, it's complicated, crazy, not working properly. So you have the same thing here with your textures. If you go into your textures and terrain, this is now the old FS19 textures. You can't use these, they are a mess. They didn't convert them to FS22, so for some reason, if you bring this into your FS22 map, it doesn't work. It works here in the converted map, but not in the 22 map we're busy building from scratch, you know. So yeah, what I've done then to fix that is, I've gone into the combined layers, not the combined layers, into the layer manager, and I look at Cliff Rock, for instance, and then the diffuse and normal maps are pulled from the Giants maps. So I had a look at, for instance, the Cliff Rock. I think there was a Cliff Rock in, if we go into 22 data maps, and then there's the 3 maps. You'll find in each of these maps you'll get different diffusers and normals. So in the map Alpine, if you go into the map Alpine's textures under terrain, you will find Cliff Rock. I've used Cliff Rock Grey, so I just added these ones directly into the map. So very simple and easy. The diffuser normals are pulled in there, and then for each of the ones that I needed, I just looked at the ones that are there available in FS22 in the 3 maps. Obviously including the French map because I've exported this map as a French map. So don't re-import another terrain thing for the French map. Rather convert the current one to the French one, if you catch my drift. So use the already ones there and just overwrite them. Instead of so you point the weight, point your weight to the map French ones, and then the normals and diffusers for the ones that's not in the French map, you can take the normals and diffusers from the in-game folder directly. Good. So that's what I've done, guys. And then I ended up copying. Once I've done everything, I ended up copying all those textures into my map folder. Brought those let me just go in there. I brought these not the textures, the weights into the copied all the weights, only the weights. So because these weight files obviously now have all the stuff that we want, and then once I've opened the map again, you end up with a map that's got the correct weights or substituted weights and the correct layout of the whole map. So it's looking much nicer, I must say. We don't have foliage yet, so it's only ground textures now. That's where we are currently. Good. So what will be our next step, guys? Our next step obviously will be to start working on the foliage and the trees. Alright, so otherwise let's get stuck on that. Right, guys, so to bring the foliages over, we're going to do two things. First one obviously is I want to go into my desktop and find my map stuff folder, and in there I've got the GRLE converter. We're going to use that. Now to bring the foliages over, normally this doesn't work properly because the channels are different. I haven't found a way to align the channels. I don't know how to do that. I don't know if it's even possible because the channels are different. So when I'm talking channels, I'm talking your grasses and your flowers. If you open your bush, for instance, bush 01, the bushes have changed in FS19 from FS19 to FS22. There's much more, so the channels are different. So when you just import them, then the stuff comes out on the other side in the wrong places, you know, as different types of fruit and things. So in other words, let's just give it a try and see what happens. So what we're going to do is you go into your converted map, and you go into the maps folder, map US, and you should find a thing there called a, what was it called, cultivator fruit density. The fruit density file, we're going to take the fruit density file and then just drop it on the GRLE converter's convert command. Now if you don't have the GRLE converter, just go into the Giants Developer Network, Google the word Giants Developer Network, and then open the website. It should take you to gdn dot something whatever, and then you'll have to create a profile for yourself, and then under downloads you'll find the GRLE converter. So download that, extract it, and then you'll have what I have here. It's a bunch of files, but we only use the convert one. So what you do is the fruit density.gdm, just drag it over the convert, so it shows that little plus, open with convert, and then drop it there. And then what's going to happen, it's going to convert that GDM for you into a PNG file. And then we're going to find it fruit density.png. So we're going to find it here, fruit density.png. There it is. So I'm going to cut that, go to my map, the Ravenport map, and just drop it in here. Control V, and you'll see there it is now, a PNG. Now on your map, you have to go into your i3D, just get your i3D of your map, and then sorry, edit with Notepad++. If you don't have Notepad++, you just download it from the web, it's free. Density fruits, there it is. I just want to make sure we're in the right thing. Fruit density.png. Alright, so fruit density.png is the one from the converted map. So we need to rename that first of all into our map folder. Here it is. So this name need to change. So we're going to find the original, which is density map fruit. Copy that, Control C. I'm just going to put a 1 in there so the name changes, and save it like that. And then we're going to go here to this original, where is that red thing now? There it is. The PNG, and we're going to rename that so that it becomes now the density fruit PNG. And then what we're going to do is you find the line that says density map fruits GDM. You double click on the GDM, change it to PNG like so, and then just save your i3D. And now what's going to happen is we're going to open the i3D, open the map, sorry, not the i3D, or you're going to open the i3D, it's the same thing. You open the map and then just save the map. So we're going to open the map now, and it should pull in the fruits, but we're going to have a look now what it does. Normally it's like vomit in a tumble dryer, you know. It's like the wrong stuff in the wrong place, and we can have a look close by. Yep, yeah, you can see already. Like I said, this never works. It's always a mess. And now you sit with the problem. You've got wheat growing in the grass, and in all the different wrong places you've got the wrong kinds of fruits and things. So yeah, unfortunately that is now what we have to deal with if you convert your map like this. Unfortunately it is how it is. Alright, so once you've done that, now you save your map and create your original GDM file for you. So once it's saved, you can close the map, and you can now go into your data folder, and you can find there's a new density fruit map created. Now you can delete that PNG, and then what we're going to do is you're going to go back into your i3D. I've still got that open, and we're going to just reload it and go into our density map fruits PNG, and then just change that to a GDM again. Enter. Okay, and then save, and there's all is well. We should have now our map running correct with the correct file. And now, guys, to get rid of all the wrong fruits in the wrong places, I'm going to show you a trick, or actually I've made a whole video on that. If you go into my channel, I'm going to show you the video, and you can search it for yourself. Into my studio, I'm just going to give you the correct video to watch on that, how to get rid of those things in the wrong places. My content, great, this is the video to watch, guys. Removing unwanted foliage items and layers from the fruit density.gdm on the entire map. So you want to watch this video and follow the instructions here to the letter, and that way you can repair your fruit density GDM file and remove all the stuff that's in the wrong spots. Okay, so I'm going to take this video, the link for it, or the link to the video, and I'll paste it in the description as well. And if you open this video's description, you'll see I've got the Notepad plus all the downloads that you need to do this. Great, so just have a look at that as well. Well, guys, when you have finished doing that little bit of homework, you'll be roughly where I am. I've exchanged all the nitty-gritty stuff for Meadow, and here and there I've added some bushes while I was at it, you know, in that GIMP where you exchange the colors. Great, so my map is looking great so far. I've gotten rid of most, if not all, the weird stuff on the map, all the different crops that's growing in the wrong places. And now that we're done with that, we can start continuing on the process. Right, guys, the next process obviously is to bring over our fields and our workable soil, if you can say. And that is in the old map. It's called the cultivator density.gdm. So we're going to do the same process with that. Drop it on the convert, create us a PNG file for it. Right, and there it is. Cut that from the old map, come into our new map, which will be on this side. There it is, Ravenport. Always make sure you're on the right spot. Paste it in here. Now the cultivator density file has been upgraded to a density map ground. So the density map ground file is the cultivator density. So what we need to do is we need to rename that one into this one. So copy that name, the ground. I'm gonna just put a 1 there to keep my original for now. Once I'm done with the process, I can delete all the ones with the ones next to it. But for now, I just want to have my originals in case there's something goes wrong, you know. There you go. Density map fruits GDM. Okay, so now what we need to do now is just open the map again, and we should. Oh yes, you have to, before you do that, change your in your i3D, change the density map ground GDM to PNG. Otherwise, the map won't open. It will give you an error. Right, so we've got now got an PNG file in its place, and we're going to obviously save this like so, and then open our map, which is in here, and we should have our fields, and then we save the map and then rename the PNG to GDM, and then all should be well, guys. We should now see our fields. This is not the fields yet, but it is the layout of the fields and all the ground stuff that's happening in the ground, you know. There you go. Looking much better already. Nice. Okay, so what we do now, just save the map, close it up again, to export here at the bottom, right, all exported, close it, and then go back into our your map, find that fruit file or the ground PNG, delete the PNG because we're done with that now. Go back into your i3D, which is still here. I'll reload it because I didn't close it, and then rename the PNG again to GDM like so, and then save it, and there you go, guys. Now we are ready with our ground. Great. Ravenport exported, and this is our map, so open it up. Right, so now we are ready for the next step. The next step obviously is to import our actual fields from the old map into the new map. Right, so this is now back in our map, looking good. Now we want to bring in the fields. So under gameplay, I think it's under gameplay if I'm correct. Oh, I've left that stuff there. The trees, I've deleted all the trees. So yeah, the first thing to do obviously is find our converted map, open our converted map, because we're now going to export stuff right from the map itself. So we just open it up, wait for it to open, and then we're going to start exporting first of all the fields. We want all the fields to be marked and correctly placed. So let us do that. Great, that looks good. Right, so here at the fields, you find the fields folder with all your fields. There are 26 fields. You grab the main transform, just make sure you've got the main transform selected. Go File, Export Selection with Files, and we're going into our own map, which is under Mods, Ravenport, Maps, Map FR. I'm going to make a folder here, Map French, new folder, and I'm going to call this imported, because all the imported stuff I'm going to drop in here, and then in this one I'm going to create a new folder called fields, because we're bringing the fields over. Right, and in the fields I will drop the fields, name the i3D fields, and save. And when it asks do you want to get parents, you can say yes on these, because we are obviously working out of the main map, so that should be alright. Yes, yes. And then we go into our map, and we're going to go File, Import, it should open us up at the correct R3D which we just exported, and it should bring it in, kaploops, just like that. And I'm going to take this main transform of fields, control cut it, and then just going to wait for it again to cut, and then drop it into the gameplay transform. So I want to park it there. It's a good place for it to stay. Good stuff. Right, so now guys, immediately if we now go to field 01, field map indicator, there it is. So that is field 01. It already shows that I'm set up, but what I want to do, and this is normally where your map crashes, so do save your map before you do this. So I'm going to just save, wait for it to export. When it says ready, I can go to the main fields transform, select that, go into scripts, map, toggle render field areas, just to have a view. So if the fields are blue in the right places, it should overlap all the little spots now, then all is well. And all I want to do is scripts, map, toggle render field areas again, with the fields selected obviously, and then sometimes my editor crashes right here when it tries to close the fields again, which in this case it looks all well. We're very grateful for that. Good, man. Right, so these all our fields is done. The next thing to do is bring over the trees. So let's go into the map, and now we're going to find the trees. Here's a transform with all the trees. So we're going to go same drill, file. What I actually want to do, guys, I actually want to take, I'm going to stay with the converted one, and export the trees directly from there, because we're going to change the trees in the game. So let us export selection with files, import it, and then we create a new folder here called trees, like so. And then obviously open that and save the transform as trees, or the i3D rather. Get the parents and I get the stuff. Yes, thank you very much. Back in our map, go file, import. It should take us to trees, Ravenport. Just verify, always verify we import the right things. And the same drill here, guys. Now we should have our trees here. Want to take the trees and put it in that transform there. Great, trees. Alright, so cut the tree folders. Mind you, we can leave, I'm going to put it in this transform here. It's called Southern France, because we're working with the French map. I'm going to cut it here and drop it in the Southern France directory. I think there is a trees thing there. Yes. Control V, park it in there, and then I'm going to delete that trees because we can't have two of them. Pointless having two. So there you go. Right. So all our trees is now in the map, but you will notice that they are showing up. Oh, beautiful. I was expecting all kinds of errors of things. This might be a good time to save the map and close it and reopen it just to check the console for errors. So let's do that. Great, guys. Now that we have our trees in, the map is really starting to look like a map. And the fields and everything is there. So we're getting there slowly. Alright, so the next thing obviously is to get our roads in. Our roads and bridges. So we'll go into the original map again. And we're going to find goes that particles, what was backdrop, Ravenport, I think buildings and structures. We can have a look at that, but let's first do the roads. There must be a place for the roads. I think almost tour of fields, gameplay. Could it be under gameplay? Nope, I don't think so. Placeholders, definitely not. I think I'll just click on one and then we'll see quickly where it is. Yeah, it's the easiest. It's under Ravenport areas. Roads. There you go. I wonder if I'll be cheeky and try and export the whole thing at once. Let's try that, guys. You take the whole of Ravenport, and we're going to go File, Export, Selection with Files. Go back into here, into Imported. Right click, New Folder, and call it Port. Like so. Save our R3D. Ravenport. Right, let's have a look. Save. Yes and yes. And then we go to our map. And go File. Import. Ravenport. That should bring all our buildings and stuff over. Remember, the buildings has got no functionality. They are just for the looks. This should by all means bring our map to life. You know, with roads and with fields and buildings and all this stuff. And just for sake of happiness, let's have a look if there's any errors on the imports. No, nothing so far. The texture streaming, that building shader. Oh, UV usage. There's some UV usage which we can add to that building shader, or we can just replace the building shader. But we will have a look at that. So there is a small problem. But I mean, to import the whole of town and everything and have only one problem. That's amazing. Okay, good stuff. Even the bridges are in, and the roads, everything. So it's looking nice. We're getting there. We haven't done the water planes yet. We can do the water planes still. We'll get to that just now. What's in here? I think this looks very nice. Yeah, I like the new look of the new Ravenport. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad at all. Well, guys, I think that will be enough for episode 2. We don't want to make it too long. We've done an amazing amount of work in episode 2. So, yeah, I think that will be enough for you guys also to catch up. And obviously, we'll carry on episode 3. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. A big thank you to my supporters. I appreciate you guys. And then also, if you would like to jump on the support wagon or support my channel, there is links in all the descriptions of my videos, so much appreciated there, guys. And thanks for watching, man. Once again, if this is your first time, remember to like and subscribe. And also, guys, every one of you, just share. Remember to share. It helps my channel grow. I appreciate that from my heart. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.